Hello, everyone. I'm Katie Earle, coordinator of the University Express program, and we are back for another interview with one of our instructors in the program. We're here with Jennifer Johnson today from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you.
All right, so let's get into this first question. So I was looking back at the records, and it seems like you've been involved with the program for a while. About how long have you been teaching for us?
Yeah, I was just trying to think about that. I would say at least 8 or 9 years, probably since 2012 or 2013. Yeah, it's been a really long time.
Yeah, well, we're glad to have you. I mean, the
Thank
program's been
you.
around for a while and you've been a part of it for a while, so thank you.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to get involved in this field?
Well, I've been at Blue Cross and Blue Shield since 2009. And before that, I worked for another health plan. And I honestly just kind of fell into healthcare and Medicare specifically. I went to college planning to go into a career in sports marketing. So I spent my college years I did an internship with the Sabres, and I did an internship with, if anybody remembers, the Buffalo Destroyers, the old arena football team, which is long gone. Um, so that's what I had intended to do. And by the time I finished college, I was like, nope, I don't want to do that anymore. So I started temping, and I got sent to a local health plan to do some sales, and I never left. It was a temp job that became a permanent job, and I just fell into it. And now I've been doing it for so long. I love it. I love Medicare, and I love working with people who are Medicare eligible. And Medicare is such an interesting, confusing program. And there's always something new going on, and there's always something new to learn.
Definitely a lot to keep straight there. So that's a really interesting journey. Now, backing up to sports marketing, did you play sports growing up? Is that where your interest came, or what were you doing?
No, well, I mean, I did. I played tennis growing up, but nothing terribly intense. Um, I just loved sports. I love our local sports teams and was really into football and hockey, and hockey a little bit more than football. So I really just it was just super interesting to me, and I love all of the backstage things that go on. When we think about sports or going to a sporting event, you're thinking about the game that's going on the field or on the ice, but there's so much going on behind the scenes to make that experience happen. Um, there's folks that work putting together the little activities that go on and the stuff that goes up on the jumbotron and all of that. And that's really what I was interested in, was how do you make those events happen rather than just the actual game that's going on.
Huh, that's really interesting. And so knowing that knowledge now, when you watch a game, that's probably what you're thinking about. Be like, oh, the people behind the scenes in addition to
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. There's people just going crazy in the offices trying to make sure that the right images are going up on the screen, and they're getting people out on the ice between periods to do the little activities and have the little kids who come out and play their little games between periods. There's people back there just going crazy, making sure all that stuff is happening at the right time. So I really enjoyed that.
Huh. Well, again, what a neat journey to where you are now. And I know that health and fitness and cooking is still really important to you, especially with what you're doing for the clients you're serving. So I'm just wondering how you're staying physically active during these times.
Yeah, it's tough, when you can't go to a gym. I guess you can now, but it can be a little uncomfortable. Um, so I've been doing a lot of walking on days when it's reasonably nice out. It's winter now, but and cold. But one of my coworkers actually lives about 6 houses away from me. So she and I get together most lunch hours to walk outside safely. So we do that. And then I've been doing a lot of yoga. Normally I go to a local yoga studio, and when the pandemic hit, they transitioned all of their classes to a virtual format. So I do that, and that's nice because you can just fit it in whenever you have time. So I'll squeeze it in, in the morning or at night after my son goes to bed. And so it's a good way to squeeze it in whenever you have a little bit of time.
Mhm. That's nice. I know some people enjoy doing yoga before bed as a really calming and relaxing thing to transition to
It can be
sleep.
soothing. Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, very nice. What is too cold for you to want to walk outside? What would you say? What temperature?
Mhm. Um, I would say like 20 degrees. That's kind of my cutoff. And I want the roads to be clear. I don't mind if they're wet, but I don't want any snow or slush. I hate having wet feet. So that's the worst.
That makes sense. Wet feet and then cold wet feet. Definitely
Yes.
the worst.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I know that you also enjoy cooking. So what have you been cooking lately that you're really excited about?
Um, well, in the last year or two, I actually stopped eating meat. So we've been doing a lot of vegetarian meals. My son and my husband still eat meat a little bit, but we don't cook it at home. So we've been doing a lot of beans, and I've been trying to use lentils a little bit more because they're really quick cooking. Um, and last night, actually, I made a chickpea burger. I used to make a really great turkey burger, turkey breast and different chopped up veggies. And I've been trying to find a way to transition that to a meatless burger. So last night I did it with chickpeas and rolled oats, which gave it a little bit of texture. So that's something I've been kind of doing lately, is trying to transition some of my old recipes to meatless versions.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting combination with the rolled oats. Now, do you use the canned chickpeas or do you use the dried and then you rehydrate?
I use canned. I used to do a lot more cooking of dry beans, which really is not much work as long as you remember to soak them the night before. And I used to do it all the time. I'd soak them and then cook them, and then I'd put them in the freezer in little, in like 2 cup portions. So it was about the same size as a can. And since my son was born, that has fallen off. Uh, that's one thing I decided I didn't have energy to do anymore. So now we mostly do canned beans.
Okay,
And
that
canned
makes
are
sense.
just as good. They're just fine.
Okay. Good to know. I was just curious because I know everybody's different with that. But you do have to remember, you're right, and they have to soak for long enough so they're not crunchy.
Right.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, I just have one more question for you. And if you want to share, what is one fun fact about yourself?
Oh, goodness. Well, probably something that most people don't know about me is my obsessive love for the TV show The Golden Girls. Um, and the reason I'm thinking of that right now is because I'm drinking my coffee and my mug says, "Hi, it's me, Stan." Um, so there's that. And then also for Christmas, my best friend got me a tear off everyday Golden Girls calendar. So these things are sitting on my desk looking at me right now. So that was the first thing that came to mind. But I have been watching the Golden Girls since I was a little girl. I think it came on TV in like 1984 or 1985. And I was watching it then. I would watch it with my grandma. And now it's on, pretty much all the time, and it's on the streaming services and everything. So I watch it several times a week. I can quote from many episodes of The Golden Girls. And in fact, sometimes my best friend and I will have contests to see who will quote back and forth until one of us can't think of anything else to say. So it's a little embarrassing, but I know so many people love that show. It's really it's a very, I think it's a very common thing that people are into.
Oh, Jennifer, I knew there was a reason I liked you a lot. Oh, the Golden Girls. I'm so happy you shared that. And their calendar is so cool.
Isn't it great? So every day there's a little like trivia question.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, the Golden Girls really are the best. If you're watching this and you haven't watched the Golden Girls, please find an episode.
Oh, yes. I can't imagine there's anybody that hasn't seen the Golden Girls at some point, but.
Oh, I don't want to even think about it. All right. Well, Jennifer, thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing all of that with us. And to everyone, thank you for watching. Stay tuned to see what Jennifer's offering for us in the spring, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for having me.